All right. Well, what's today? Oh, what's today? Tuesday. Tuesday. Lots of things to do today. Literally, I have lots of things to do today. And yeah, I'm still in the. Yeah, my hair's doing funky things. Weird. I still got a lot of things to do. I just said that, but yeah, I'm still in the dining room today. I'm not back out in the garage with my good camera. And hold on, let me fix my hair. Weird, funky things. It's a problem of having long hair for so long, and then all of a sudden you go short, and it does not want to play nicely. It'll get there. That's fine. Okay, so I have a very long laundry list of things to do without any actual laundry. Thanks, Nat, for doing the laundry. That's you're amazing. I'm also here in the dining room again on my bad webcam. Hopefully, I can get back out in the garage tomorrow. I'm only here because after this, I'm just going straight into class, and we're just doing like SketchUp stuff, and it's easier for me to do that from the on a table. And plus, it's a little bit warmer in here, and not so much in the garage. I've got so much to do today. Most of it's just like regular things that I do every day, like taking care of the dishes, cleaning the kitchen, doing this vlog. So I guess I can go ahead and scratch that off the list. I like having easy things on my list that I can just scratch off, and it just kind of gives you a confidence boost. Like if I do a to-do list, I usually put something that I've either already done or almost finished doing, just so I can cross it off and be like, hey, I got one thing off of my list. It just kind of gives you the juice to keep going. I've got Instagram post on here. I have been better the last few days of posting on Instagram. I hadn't before. I don't know, for like the past week or so, I've been a little bit off. But I'll get back into it. I've got to figure out this Amazon affiliate link stuff. I know that's like a lot of behind the scenes YouTuber sort of thing. But I got that program going, so I need to figure out what I can do for integrating that into videos. I have some grading to do because this in our school, it's the last week until spring break. We have spring break next week, and the quarter 3 ends this week, which is crazy to me. It's insane how fast this year has gone by, and it's all been distance learning. So a lot of grading to do. So I'm trying to put that into little bite-sized chunks. I tend to get really bad about, well, a lot of things, but especially with grading, I will wait until like kind of the last week or the last few days and then try and get it all done at once. And I end up getting it done because it's my job, but it's just a lot of sitting down in one location for a long period of time and just cranking it out. And I never really enjoy that. I hate grading. Grading's the worst part of my job. It sucks. It's kind of pointless, but kind of not. So grades don't really matter for me so much as they matter for students. And I owe it to them to give them a fair grade and get them the feedback that they need to grow. I just don't like doing it. So what I've been trying to do is to break that up into smaller chunks and making sure, like I had this on my list for yesterday. I crossed it off, but it's on here, grading. So all I did was I graded one assignment across all my classes. I don't know what's going on with my webcam. Like all of a sudden yesterday in one of my classes on Zoom, like everything just started getting really bright. Yeah, on my stream, like everything got bright and fuzzy. I didn't touch anything. I don't know. Maybe my webcam just decided to wig out. but everything's all like washed out. And it's not even, the sun's not even shining in through here. Like that is just reflected light off the wall, off of a gray wall. You can see, and it's not even that bright in here. I have no idea what's going on with that, but oh well. Maybe my webcam just decided to give up the ghost. But anyway, so yeah, I was just doing a little bit of grading yesterday. I'm going to do a little bit more today and just work my way through it. The really sucky thing about grading, though, is when kids turn things in late, because I can do it all. I can do like a whole assignment all at once, and the kids who are missing their assignment, you just put in that they're missing. But then kids turn stuff in late, and I'm a big softie. I care more about them learning and doing the work than whether it was done on time. Yeah, they lose a little bit of points, but it's not like they didn't do the work. They just didn't do it on time. And so I feel obligated to, well, they turned it in, they did it, so I have to go ahead and grade it. But that means that I have to go back in, hunt for the assignment, load up my grade book, find the class, find the assignment, find the student. And when I'm doing it all as one class, I get all the grades done, and then I'm going down the list, just data entry. It's just type in a number, enter, type in a number, enter, type in a number, enter. It's a very smooth workflow. But then when kids turn things in late, after I've done all the grading, then it's like, all right, I have to open up this class and get to that assignment, get to that kid, and then click on that and then enter it. It would be fine if it was just one, but it's usually more than that. It's usually multiple kids from multiple periods, for multiple assignments. So I'm going from class to class, from assignment to assignment, sort of hunting and finding where these data points are, so that I can enter them. So yeah, that's probably the worst of it. If everybody turned their stuff in on time, it's no big deal. They just go down the list, enter all the grades, no big deal. It's the kids who turn stuff in late after I've already graded. They turn in like a day late. That's why I don't grade things like right away. Not always. Like I'll give kids like public feedback. Like I'll pick a few samples of projects or work or something, and give feedback, or maybe grade like a couple of them like in class live, so that kids can see like a generalized feedback. But yeah, that's why I don't grade right away on most things, at least for distance learning, is because I guess so many kids turn stuff in late, and I want them to turn it. I mean, it's not like I want to be like, oh, you can't turn in late work, and especially considering with distance learning, there's a lot of hardships for kids. And so if I just drew a line in the sand and was like, no, you can't turn anything late, that's really going to be unfair to a lot of kids who've got a lot of other things going on in their lives. And it's not a good situation. But at the same time, I know some of these kids, they turn stuff in late, not because they're having hardships. It's because they're out, checking out and playing video games instead of doing their work during their at home time. I mean, if I was in high school during all this, I'd be doing that too. No one was watching over my shoulder. I would be checking out, procrastinating, playing video games. Like, I get it, but yeah, all of that to say that I'm doing a smart this week and breaking up my grading into smaller chunks, doing 1 or 2 assignments at a time per day, and then moving on. What else do I have to do? I have a staff meeting after school tomorrow or today. Actually, let me check that. Staff meetings are necessary. We'll just leave it at that. Oh, no, not a staff meeting. It's curriculum council. Yeah, curriculum council is that's an interesting one. It's a decision-making body for a school made up of teachers, And then a couple admins usually sit on the board, and a couple counselors too. It's sort of like a board that in our district goes through and approves and makes decisions on curriculum, and whether or not to forward that to the school board for ultimate approval. So anytime that we want to run, if we got any curriculum related issues to bring up, or if we want to run new classes, propose new classes, then it has to go through that decision making body. And it's important. It just the types of people, the types of teachers who sit on curriculum council, myself included, tend to be very opinionated and outspoken. And so there tends to be a lot of conversation that gets off topic and very spirited and very passionate. And that's not a bad thing. It's just time consuming sometimes. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying anything bad about my colleagues or anything like that. It's just, if you are in a position where you sit through meetings that are important, but people still have lots of things to say about pretty much any topic they feel they need to talk about. You know what I'm talking about. It's basically one of those meetings. That's some general cleaning. And then for my next project, this is actually what I really wanted to talk about. With I think I titled this stream like bite-sized chunks, and that's what I'm doing with grading. But my next project, my next YouTube project, building project, is I want to build a work table, work desk for out in the garage. And I've got the design already. I posted my design on Instagram a few weeks ago. I did it in SketchUp, and basically, I need a workbench for out in the garage. I've got lots of workbenches at work, but I'm not at work right now. I'd like something where I can, have a space to like work and put together projects. Something I can put some vices on, woodworking vices on the end, and do, woodworking stuff, put some dog holes in there. So I want it to be like a work surface, like a woodworking work surface. Forgot what the dimensions were. It's like 30 by, my design was like 30 by 60, I think, something like that, maybe 72. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. But I also, I couldn't figure out what I wanted for the lower part. And I know a lot of woodworking tables have, table legs, or they'll have, braced up angles or whatever, benches and stuff. And I was thinking, okay, well, I'll have to figure out like some joinery, some solid joinery that could be able to take a beating. And then I stopped myself and I started thinking about what exactly do I want to do with this table, right? This is going to take up a fairly large bit of real estate in my garage, which is not super huge. And I was initially thinking, well, I could put storage underneath, but I got to thinking, what do I really want to use this table for? This work table. Well, obviously for woodworking. So it's going to need a vise. It's going to need a thick tabletop to it. Drill some dog holes and everything. But then I also want a space where I can sit and, like sit in a chair and put my legs under, and do artwork either on camera, or doing like talking head videos, like kind of like what I'm doing now, or only talking heads for videos. Because right now what I do is I just kind of stand up or I sit on a stool and have a camera pointed in my face. But I would really like to be able to sit at a desk and sort of rest my elbow and, gesticulate and stuff like that when I'm narrating a YouTube video. And then, do like some nice stuff in the background on that windowed wall I have in the garage. And so I'm like, well, what I really need, instead of like a table, what I really want more is like a teacher desk. The kind they're basically boxy. They're closed off on the front and the sides, so you can't see the teacher texting under the table in school. Like one of those teacher desks. I actually have one. I built one at work a couple of years ago. Did a really nice like laminated top, just a bunch of redwood and pine and stuff, bunch of strips and boards. It's also, if you scroll back on my Instagram, you can see the setup and the final product of that one. But I basically made a giant plywood box. Essentially, is for the base, just a big plywood box. I think I put it together with pocket screws, and as far as sturdy goes, a plywood box is 3/4 inch plywood is pretty dang sturdy. You don't have to worry about racking. I mean, it stays in place. A little bit of glue and some pocket screws, and that thing is solid, and maybe a little bracing too. So I thought, that's really what I want. Storage would be nice, but I can hang stuff. I can like put hooks and stuff on the outside and hang tools and brushes and safety glasses and stuff on the outside. But really what I want is a place where I can sit at a stool or a chair and put my legs into the desk so that I can use it as well, a desk, as well as a stand up and use it like a woodworking bench. So that's the goal of my next project. So all that to say, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to structure the next video. And that's tough because I'm kind of dealing with some conflicted sentiments here. On the one hand, I really want to try and tighten up my posting schedule. It was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 weeks or so between my pot rack videos, and to me, that needs to be a little bit tighter. I love to be able to post every week, but I have a full-time job. I've got chores around the house. I do my own editing. Like I'm not, I'm doing this pretty much all myself. So a big quality video like that, and for me, a 10-minute video is a huge video. Considering I'm doing all this stuff myself, doing that once a week is kind of a tall order, and especially if it's like a start to finish video. Even if it's like 15 or 20 minutes long, that's I don't even know if I can make this project in a week. Like, honestly, it'll probably take a couple weeks. So back to the theme of today, breaking things up into bite-sized chunks. What I was thinking was kind of like what I did with the pot rack, break it up into 2 videos, but maybe have, with the pot rack, I just kind of picked a spot and was like, okay, I'm ending this video and then picking it up where I left off. And it wasn't really a great stopping point, but I was kind of done editing the first video at the time. So I just put a pin in it and stopped. So for this one, I think, considering it's going to take some time to do all of the, parts of it, breaking it up, breaking the actual project into smaller chunks. So like first I'm going to need to make the plywood box. So, hey, let's do a video just based on making this plywood box for the desk. There's lots of lessons in with that. There's, going to be using pocket holes. I'm going to be cutting all this on my, with my tools, table saw, and gluing it all together, making sure everything's all square and level and all that stuff. So there's plenty of content there, and I can stretch some of it out. And then when I get to making the tabletop, okay, that's another video. And then potentially a third video in there, maybe, we'll see. But even so, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tighten it up right away to a 1 week schedule. I'd be happy with a 2-week schedule every 2 weeks. Hey, Alberto, how's it going? I was just finishing up. We're about 20 minutes in. I'm just finishing up talking about what my next project's going to be. Alberto says, hi, YouTube. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun talking to you too. Um, so yeah, I don't know if I'll at this point if I'd be able to tighten it up to a 1 week schedule because I mean it's already Tuesday and I haven't even started the project itself. So probably more realistically, 2 or 3 week schedule. If I were to start part of the project this week, then I could start filming and then next week do some editing. But yeah, that's the other thing too is it's not just thing I'm learning. I mean, this is probably kind of a obvious Captain Obvious moment, but it's not just about building the project anymore. It's about filming it, which slows down the process, as opposed to just making it. If I was just going to make it, I'd be done in a week. But I've got to film it, which slows down everything down because you have to set up your shot. You have to think about what you're doing. You have to think about your shot list and your orders. Are you going to get any B-roll as you're working? And then once all that's done, it's all the editing. And that is a project in and of itself. So it's really like 2.5, 3 projects that you're all doing at once. And it takes some time and effort. And no wonder people sub out their editing to other people. It's a lot of work. Anyway, speaking of a lot of work, it's 9:07 here on the Pacific Coast. And hey, cat, get down. Kitty trying to get up on the printer. You're not supposed to be. So we're going to end this so I can get ready for my class, which starts in about 8 minutes. So we will see y'all next time.